of the world. Something interesting passed through social media on Sunday. Maybe it was Saturday night, Sunday, involving newly re-signed Dallas Mavericks point guard Kyrie Irving, which, looking at his contract, by the way, he has a player option in year 3, which we already knew, and it's for 3 years, $118.4 million. He will make 36.5 this year. He opted out of how much?
43.
43. So he's taking roughly a $6 million reduction in the first year to add roughly $80 million in guarantee.
Well, and more so, the reason he took that reduction was to add D'Angelo Russell to the roster.
That was nice of him.
I mean, that's why they needed him to take a pay cut.
Did they need him? Did they need him to do that? Did they need him to do that?
I mean, I guess you can argue there were other ways they could have gone about it, but that's the way that.
I also mean, like, what was the market for D'Angelo Russell, really?
Well, the market was taxpayer mid-level because that's what he got.
Clearly.
All right. But Kyrie was, something happened on social, was a comment that he made during was it a Twitch session? I know.
I believe so. It was one, I don't know Twitch. I've never been on Twitch, but a streaming session, yes.
Okay. Go for it. Go forth.
Oh, you want me to read it? No. All right. I didn't realize I was the one who was going to be tasked with reading this. I don't have it.
You are tasked.
Okay. I don't have it ready to roll, but I will find it. And I will say that I've been informed that this is not like a fresh comment. He apparently made this comment weeks ago. I don't know why the aggregation machine.
I think I know why. I think because in the excitement over just the Mavericks in general, and his contract in general, there was like some belief that, I don't know who said it first, but there was like, he could be back, around the All-Star break or something like that.
January is what Shams reported.
Shams said that. Okay.
Yeah, and not that he would be, but that he could be back as soon as the goal.
Okay.
The goal was to be back by January, which always was like, man, that's a really optimistic goal.
That's a 9-month window.
And the people I talked to with Mavericks, like, hey man, if he's back by the All-Star break, we'd be very happy with that. We'd feel good about that. But this is Kyrie. He's asked if he'll be back by the playoffs. And he said, don't hold your breath on that. I don't want to make any predictions on when I'm going to be back. I just want to be back 150,000% better.
Me too.
Yeah, that's tough math. But so I'm taking my time right now to really get healthy. And, listen, I think first of all, this is just Kyrie kind of like speaking freely, right? It's not like he's not in like a press conference mode. It's just kind of, babbling, as Bon Timms might say. And I think, if you ask him, his answer might change day to day.
I would agree.
And, hour to hour. But it is he absolutely should take his time to make sure that he's completely healthy before he returns, however long that takes. And, and for Jamal Murray, a very similar time frame in terms of an ACL. He missed the entire next season, including the playoffs. That I'm not, in no way am I trying to predict anything on Kyrie, but I'm just saying, like, hey, these things, there's the physical recovery, there's the mental hurdle they've got to clear to come back. And I do think there's been a lot of presumption in the discussion about the Mavericks that Kyrie's going to be back to being Kyrie this season.
Right. I'm seeing a lot of that. Like, oh man. I mean, like, and
we got asked about it. We got asked about it 17 different ways on TV last week. All three of us did.
Right.
Are the Mavericks contenders? There's kind of the fact that D'Angelo Russell is the only guard. First of all, the fact that D'Angelo Russell is the only guard on the roster, essentially, at this point.
They did re-sign Exum too, but sure.
I mean, Dante Exum is not an on-ball guy. He's a nice role-playing defender at the guard spot, but he's not an on-ball guy.
Can I interest you in Jaden Hardy?
like
he
I
likes
said,
to shoot.
the fact that D'Angelo Russell is the only guard on the roster, basically, it baffles me.
The only
It
point
continues to baffle me that in February, when the Mavs made this trade, they then traded Quentin Grimes for Caleb Martin, who couldn't walk, and they never went and got another guard then, which you could argue helped play a role in what happened with Kyrie later, because he was playing the most minutes in the league over the next month. But they still haven't addressed it now, really. And now they're going to, in theory, go into next season with Cooper Flagg running point. Jason Kidd's talking about. Like, I think that would be good for Cooper Flagg for a team that's allegedly got a 3 to 4 year window, and we're in year 2 of it. That does not seem like the best way to try to have a contending team this year, because they're going to have to win games.
Yeah, and one other thing on Kyrie, when you're counting up the months, which I'm sure people will, he did have the injury on March 3rd. Bad day for the Mavericks. He didn't have the surgery until 3.5 weeks later, at the end of March. So, and look, there's much different reasons for that. But the key is he really didn't start his recovery until April.
You basically got to count. You got to start basically from April 1st, not from March 1st.
Exactly. So even if you're going to count the optimistic window, you just keep that in mind. You know.
And look, the Mavs are a fascinating team, and if Kyrie can be back healthy, like if they're healthy in March, in April, they will be an interesting team. I mean, they were going to be an interesting team last year. I mean, that's the craziest thing about the Luka trade to begin with, is that, we kept getting asked, like, again, I'll refer back to TV last week. You kept getting asked about the Lakers and Mavericks rosters. Like, the Mavericks roster is dramatically better than the Lakers roster. Like, they got a bunch of good players. So, like it's easy to forget because of everything that's happened. They were in the finals a year ago. Like, it's not like they were bereft of talent at any point. So if they can get Kyrie back healthy, they are going to be awfully interesting. It just, again, it's why it's strange to me that we're sitting here in July and they did nothing to help the guard spot besides sign D'Angelo Russell.
Well, and when you looked at the roster, there was it was reasonable to wonder, okay, hey, are they going to take some of this front court depth and make a deal to address the backcourt? Are they going to trade Daniel Gafford for an offensive creator? And they signed Gafford to an extension. It is an extension that makes him trade eligible immediately. But certainly seems that their plan is to move forward with Gafford at least this season, which, I get. Like, Derek Lively II's really good and has had some real durability issues. And then PJ Washington, I'm not so sure PJ Washington's not starting alongside Cooper Flagg. Nico Harrison made a comment about, Cooper